Alrighty, folks, we are going to once again talk about Real Bricks. If you don't remember what Real Bricks is, it is basically a way to fractionally invest in real estate. This is a particular investing part of the market that I think will be 100x in the next couple of years. It is in infancy, and I love to be at the start of some journey. Folks, on my channel, there is now a growing playlist called Real Bricks. In the first episode, we introduced you to what Real Bricks was. Episode number 2, we showed you the application. Episode number 3, we actually had somebody from my community who did invest with Real Bricks talk about their experience. Number 4, we actually brought on the founder. And today we are going to talk about their market, the market they started with, Omaha. This is a market that I know zero about, but we're going to talk with David Matney about it and really learn more about Omaha. But first, Nick, how you doing, buddy? You were on vacation last week.
Wasn't quite vacation. Took a week off for personal reasons, but yeah, everything's good. But back in the office now, the home office, and yeah, back at it. You know, trying to close out the year strong. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on again, Mike.
Awesome. Well, David, you are our guest today. Nick is obviously speaks very highly of you and the Omaha market. Let's assume that nobody knows about Omaha or David. Give us your intro and let's get into talking about it.
Hi, Mike and Nick. Thanks again for having me on the program today. My name is David Matney from Nebraska Realty. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I've born and raised in Omaha. I've been an investor for about 32 years.
Only 32 years.
You know, and but I love Omaha. I think we do a very poor job as a city promoting what we have. And that's what I do on my channel. I get a lot of folks that are relocating. I get a lot of folks that are interested in learning more about Omaha. And I think they're pleasantly surprised. And then I get some folks from Omaha that are not fans of me letting the word out that
don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell. I get some shade once in a while where it's like, hey, quit promoting Omaha. We like it the way it is. So
that's fun. That's funny.
It's a great. I love our city, and now that I meet more people from across the nation, a lot of times I think the people from Omaha don't really truly understand what we have until you compare yourself to some of these other markets and stuff. So I just think it's I'm a big fan.
well, let's give the audience some basics. Again, I know nothing about it, so these would be very simple questions. Like, what's a median home price today? Who are the employers in Omaha? Give us kind of the lay of the land. Why Omaha is an impressive city.
Sure, we have a lot of folks, when they get the impression of Omaha, they think we have 7 people and it's just a bunch of cornfields and cows. But we started out as a transportation hub through the railroad in the expansion westward. So Union Pacific is one of the Fortune 500 companies based out of Omaha. Of course, Warren Buffett is out of Omaha.
Yep.
Berkshire Hathaway, and then we have Mutual of Omaha. It's an insurance company, and we have the Nebraska Medical Center. So we have, and we also have Warner, Peter Kiewit and Sons, which is a nationwide built construction firm, headquartered out of Omaha. But we have a lot of jobs in tech. We just recently. As you know, when a city starts really expanding, the Omaha Metro itself just went over 1 million in population.
Wow.
Yes. So the city of Omaha itself is just about 500,000, but the Omaha Metro itself has just went over 1 million. And so once you hit that million mark, it starts hitting on people's radar. Okay. And so I think, people are drawn to the quality of life. The school system. We have, it's a great place to raise a family. And we're starting to go vertical in terms of we're adding to our skyline. We're putting in a new skyscraper, which will be the tallest building in Nebraska at 44 stories. So we're expanding our airport. Eppley Airfield's undergoing a $950 million expansion, and they're going to have an international access now. So there's a lot of good things going on in this. It's amazing for me in the past 30 some years, I started you know, I mean, I'm over 50, of course, but I mean, but just in watching the city grow from my childhood, especially in the last, 30 years, to watch the growth is amazing. So I think it's exciting. I'm excited for the future of Omaha and the surrounding communities. So
well, when you look at, again, if you're going to be an investor, one of the things they're going to be interested in is kind of price points and rents. Like what does a new home cost, or median home? We're not talking not luxury, but what's a reasonable home cost?
You can get in our market for under $300,000. Okay, and then even new construction. What's really amazing is some of these folks that are coming from California, they're amazed that you can buy new construction for under 400. That is, they go into shock, and then
yes, we do.
And then they go into shock. I had some folks that come from Southern California. Nothing against Southern California or anything, but they came from Southern California, and they're like, well, gosh, I had some other people from Portland. They're like, well, nothing's behind plexiglass. I mean,
there's not a lock on the baby food.
There's no, everything's not behind glass, and and then with my people from California, like, you can leave your lawn furniture out at night and stuff. So it's like, wow, this is really, really nice. Now, do we have homeless and things like that? Of course, every city does. Okay. Right. But our crime is, I had some folks that come in from relocate, and, they're like, all the cameras and everything. And I'm like, dude, you're okay.
You're going to be all right. You don't need to make it Fort Knox.
Yeah. I mean, it's all, do we have crime? Yes. I mean, are we a perfect city? No, but it's very affordable. You can, I look back. What's amazing to me.
What are rents? What are rents? So you're talking about $300,000 for a house, $400,000 for new construction. What's a landlord get for rent these days?
I am shocked at some of the rents people get. Okay. And again, some of my purchases way back in the day were 30. When I say these numbers, these are going to be shocking to people. 30,000, 45,000, 50,000. Yeah. And now, you're looking at, 1,800, 2,200 in terms of rents. Now, sometimes I see rents and I'm like, I was always behind the power curve on that, where I had a property manager and I'd be like, God, what are we going to get for that place? And she would tell me, and I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of felt kind of guilty, I'm like, well, okay, but it would get it, and because, we have, a very low unemployment rate too. I mean, people, have the Midwest work ethic. People want to raise their family. Now, we do have a little bit of brain drain from young people who think the pasture is greener in other cities.
East or West Coast. Yeah.
And we have a good education system, so we educate folks, but then we're trying to maintain them to keep them here. And now we're adding in our downtown, like we're adding a new skyscraper and we're adding a new streetcar. Okay. And so they're looking at that development and stuff. But looking back, my mistake was not buying more.
That's a mistake lots of us investors
I should have bought more, because I'm like, and I was amazed just in the past, everybody's prices went up in the past 5 years.
Sure.
But, 5 years ago, you could buy a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, brand new construction, about 1,500 square feet for under $200,000.
Wow.
And now that home is, $325,000, but, and rents have gone on right along with it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're business friendly. We're landlord friendly too. It's some of the, I hear some of the things that are going on in these other markets, and I'm like, wow. And I can see why Real Bricks made a move into our market, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So
well, let's get Nick into this conversation. Nick, obviously with Real Bricks, you really could have picked any market anywhere. What was it about Omaha that's like, hey, let's plant our flag here. Let's get some units. Let's test this model out before we go anywhere else. What was it about Omaha?
Yeah, I think David answered most of that question just now in the last few minutes. Our founder lives just north of Omaha in an area called Norfolk, small town just north, which is also expanding. So that was part of the reason, but also everything David just mentioned, right? It's an approachable market. There's kind of the main markets that you think of when you hear real estate investing: Atlanta, Austin, Nashville, Dallas. Sure. Those are all great. Price points are going to make it difficult to cash flow. And most of the time when people are visiting our platform, they're looking for the dividends, right? They want an area that's going to be consistently paying dividends, along with everything else David mentioned, with low crime, low unemployment, good school districts. I'm excited about it. I didn't know anything about Omaha before I started here, but I've been pleasantly surprised. Early in my tenure here, there was an article that came out on US News World Report that actually named Omaha as the hottest real estate market in the country. Which was crazy, and I was blasting that out to everyone I could.
As you should.
And I still do, right? I mean, it's a market that's growing, but it's still, I would say, under the radar. It hasn't necessarily had that large institutional stronghold come in and buy up whole communities and drive the rents up and prices up. So I see it being a core market for us for the foreseeable future. We did just add a property just north of Dallas, which is exciting, in an area called Princeton. And then right now there are currently 2 homes available still with shares left in Omaha. One of them fully funded a few months ago, the Dalmore. And these 2 that we have right now were just leased through the end of next year, which is great as well. So there's a good lease on those ones.
Yeah, when I think about Real Bricks and what I see coming with fractional lending, I think you guys made a wise move, kind of picking, I'll call it a second tier city, right? It's not Atlanta, Austin, right? These Big 10. But it is a market at 1 million people, right? Once you get to 7 figures, that city's not going anywhere, right? You're not dependent on a single employer, right? It's not a 30,000 person city that could, if the military left, like, it happened in the 90s or whatever, it could disappear overnight. Also, you got landlord friendly, you got low crime, you got the Midwest. I think being strategic really allows you to work out a market where it does pay the dividends as you look to reinforce Real Bricks, the infrastructure. So it's, I think it was a wise move.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Nick, what else do you see out there? Obviously, you just added a property in Dallas. Give us a taste of what the future might look like. 2026 is around the corner. What do you see going on with Real Bricks in 26?
Yeah, this Dallas property, it's in an area called Princeton, just north of. It was actually it's the fastest growing county in the country per census data. And there was just a housing moratorium put in that area, so no new construction homes.
That's a good combination.
Yeah. So we're excited about that one. That one's called the Garrison. I believe that the next property that we'll add will also be in that area with the same developer, because it's
so new construction
pretty quickly. Another new construction, and then David would be able to talk more about new construction in Omaha. But I'm looking at a Google map right now of where this home is that we have there, and it's in a completely new construction area. That one was built in 2022, the Blanton, right along the 680. So yeah, I mean, look, I want to continue to expand in Omaha. Obviously, we're going to be continuing to look at other markets as well. And I'm on the phone all day, so I hear where people want to invest, right? And what's interesting about Omaha is that it kind of gives a combination of cash flow and stability, right? I mean, we could go and buy a $60,000 house in Memphis, renting at $1,200, and it would be a home run on cash flow. But then a year into it, something breaks.
We all know what happens after that. Yeah.
Right. So we're being careful about the markets we enter, and moving methodically. We purchased the Omaha properties all cash, which a lot of our investors really like. When they're comparing us to other platforms out there that do fractional investing. So that's been a big move for us as well, is that we were able to purchase those cash. There's no leverage on them.
Yeah, that's a big deal for investors. David, we'll go back to you again. When you think Omaha, where do you see Omaha going in 26? Obviously, there's investments in skyscrapers in the business community, but what's got you excited?
I think we're gonna have continued growth. We have lots of new construction, so we're seeing an influx of people coming into the city as far as relocating from some of the other West Coast states and things like that. I'm bullish on our city. So I don't see it as, you hear all the, on YouTube, there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, but it's like, well, and it's one of those things that we don't get in. Omaha's one of those towns. We're very recession proof town too.
Right.
To where, there's a saying that goes that we don't get invited to the party, so we don't get the hangover.
Oh, I like that.
So
I like that.
We're very, and another thing we have, and I forgot to add this, but we have Offutt Air Force Base too.
Oh.
So we have a military component as well, and was the headquarters of the Strategic Air Command, and now it's headquarters to Stratcom. Just that area, the Sarp, there's Douglas County, and then there's Sarpy County. Those I see prices going up. I think we have more inventory. I think prices will go up. I think we'll have more sales next year. The sales are depressed because not as many people are transacting, but I do see opportunity out there for folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think 26 is going to surprise people. Transactions up, prices flat again for kind of the third year. These are all national. I'm talking national. So I think it's time for investors who maybe are having a hard time finding deals in their markets, where maybe they look at fractional lending. It's a way to get in the game. It's a way. I do like the fact that there's no leverage on the deals. I like that these are long-term leases. There are other providers that are trying to do it differently with, rent by rooms and things of that nature, which I think it's an interesting model, but I don't want any piece of that. It just seems like very high turnover to me. So again, I like what Real Bricks is doing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. David, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and learn more about Omaha, how do they do that?
They can give me a call, 402-490-6771, or I'm on YouTube at Living in Omaha with
Nice.
David Matney. So you can subscribe to my channel and learn more about Omaha, or I'm out there you can always Google me.
There you go. Well, Nick, obviously, folks in my audience, they still have that Real Bricks code over at 50. Gets them a $50 match on their first investment. Obviously, you have your playlist, which is growing strong, that people can go back and learn and see the app and meet the founder and other investors. But give us your closing thoughts.
Yeah, this is my fourth time being on here. I enjoy it every time. And, I love talking with all of your followers because they, like I said earlier, a lot of them will have properties already in their portfolio and they're looking for something more passive, right? And we're able to provide that. So looking forward to the new group of people who are able to watch this video and come on. And then, with David, always happy to connect anyone if they wanted to learn more about Omaha. And we're excited for 2026. The secondary market will become available in February, first quarter sometime next year. That's when investors who've purchased shares will be able to put up their shares for sale. So that's kind of the main next thing to be looking forward to is the liquidity piece of this, which is
complete the loop.
Your shares.
Yeah, complete the loop. Love that.
Awesome.
At the end of the day, folks, fractional real estate is here. It will 100x much faster than people expect. This is a way for lots of people to get ownership assets, diversify, get coverage perhaps around the country without daily operations. Again, dig in, learn about it, play with it, see what's what. You have a playlist called Real Bricks. Check it out. Nick, David, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.